viewer. We are very, very happy that you've joined us today. This is Rays of Hope, and I am Lucy Wawero. Today, we are going to tackle, a topic that is going to inspire us. And this topic is really a testimony of one beautiful young woman. And so today we are saying we are inspiring hope through the testimony, through the story of Rose Haki. Please remember that you can follow us live on Facebook, CAC TV Kenya, and on YouTube, CAC TV Kenya. And please remember that we are here to inspire resilience, courage, and hope. And we are glad that you've joined us and that you have kept it CAC TV. Wow. So nice to have you, Rose Haki.
Thank you too, Rebecca Lucy.
Thank you for creating time to be with us, and I would like you to just face the camera and just greet the viewer and tell them your names.
Hello, wherever you're watching. My name is Rose Haki. I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you, Rebecca Lucy, for this invitation. And my name is Rose Haki, officially Rose Muihaki, and I have a testimony. The whole thing for me to share is not for empathy or sympathy, but to be a vessel of encouragement to someone who is out there. Maybe you're giving up, maybe you feel like it's too much for you to take, but when you see me here smiling, I'm a testimony that indeed God can do miracles.
Wonderful. And karibu sana. And so we are inspiring hope, and she's going to share her story. But before then, allow me to read a verse from Exodus 15 and verse 6. Exodus 15 and verse 6. And this is what it says. Your right hand, O Lord, glorious in power. Your right hand, O Lord, shatters the enemy. I would like to repeat that. Your right hand, O Lord, glorious in power. Your right hand, O Lord, shatters the enemy. Just to remind you that for a season in the Presbyterian Church, we've had this as the theme of Christian education. And actually, this is how we captured, this verse. Freed to free. Freed to free. Are held by the shepherd's hand. So God frees us, and God has freed us, just like he did for the Israelites, so that we too can be used as vessels to free others. And that's why, as Rose says, she's not just sharing her testimony so that we can feel, wo ishe, or we can salute her. Or it's not about that. She shares because God has freed her so that she can free others. And of course, held by the shepherd's hand. How do you like that thing?
Hey, apple, my coffee. Apple. That's the real truth.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's indulge into this. Let's get into this. Who is Rose Haki? Tuende hapo beginning, and we move on to where maybe the rain started beating you.
Okay. Rose Haki, I'm a motivation speaker, a counselor, and also a founder of Fayward Mentors. Basically, what I do is to motivate and empower others towards positive experience. This is through interactive session. I also share my testimony in trainings for leaders, youth seminar, ladies seminar. As in, I always say I am sponsored and powered by God's grace.
Sponsored and powered.
Yes.
By God's grace.
Yes.
Wow. That's
to
wonderful.
do all I do. I've been able to reach out to high schools, churches, even corporate forums to encourage others and to empower them. Yes, I'm trained in counseling and leadership development, but I fully say I'm just a vessel of God. I'm just here by God's grace. Yeah.
So let's hear your story. Tuanze mwanzo.
Mwanzo.
Yes.
Hapo mwanzo kulikuwa na Rose Haki. Amezaliwa kama Rose Muihaki. I grew up in Nyahururu. That is
it's called Nyahe or Nyahu.
Bedhe nilisikia hiyo jina Nyahe, but mimi nimezoea Nyahu.
Okay.
Nyahu.
Okay.
Uko ndio nimesomea my primary. As in, wacha ni touch zile points zenye zimeni affect.
Yeah.
Nikiwa Nyahe, as you said, identity yangu ilikuwa juu sana. As in, nilikuwa na feel so good about my life. Simply shule watu walikuwa wananipenda sana, walikuwa nataka kwa best yangu, wananifanyia homework, wananibrushia viatu, especially time ya trips. Unajua, cause one thing, budangu tu alikuwa na work Nairobi.
Wow.
Unajua kiushago,
yes.
Budako akiwa anafanya ni kama ako majuu. Yes. Imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that. My identity ilikuwa hapa juu. And pia time ya trip, watu walikuwa wanataka kwa best yangu because walikuwa wanajua buda angeniletea zawadi kutoka Nai. Niyo zawadi ilikuwa nothing else but buffalo.
Ile kubwa.
Ile unajua ile jakatwa?
Yes, the block.
Unajua sasa kila mtu amezoea buffalo. Bara hiyo time ilikuwa ka pizza of today. Yeah. And so I enjoyed my life then. Then ikafika time, and when my dad alikama akasema sasa my people itabidi tumeenda Nairobi. And so excited, and wasa alikuwa na celebrate, and nikajua life yangu imeenda iko fit. Yani nilikuwa najisikia, unajua kuna watu wanajisikianga juu maybe wako na ng'ombe 10 kuku 5. Sasa mimi nilikuwa najisikia juu
now you're moving to the dream city.
Yes. Yeah. And now sasa safari imeanza, at least punda zimeanza kupungua. Kuna zile matatu unaona. Alafu kulikuwa na zile matu zinaitwa dum dum 12. Jovenye zina dum dum 12. Yeah, then tukafika Nairobi. You know, it's like Nairobi, here I come. That feeling. Then sasa nikijoin Seko huku Nairobi.
Because then you were in primary school as you were moving here.
Yeah, I was in primary. So nikikam Nairobi bado niko na ile high esteem. And then kitu ilikuwa funny, hiyo shule ilikuwa mpaka na swimming pool. Nilikuwa nafikiria maji ni ya blue. Kumbe ni tiles. Unajua Nyahe tumezoea zile zinaitwa dum dum. Zinaitwa dufu mpararo. Enye ukidufu unatoka kama umeparara juu, sio swimo, ni swamp.
Ni swamp. Yes.
And there was a moment came when nilikuwa nimesimama mbele ya student nijiintroduce, just like tuko na wewe hapa. Akoka excitement, ka confusion. And then Princia anaongelea about mimi. Then nikiangalia naona wase wote wako na closed shoe. Unajua si kama Nyahe, watu walikuwa na open shoes. Si ati open shoes zilikuwa zina trend. Ukibawa kiatu class 4 ndio namaliza nayo class 8.
So imeraruka.
Unapeleka kama vidole zinatembea sana, inakatwa.
So ni open shoes.
Yeah. But real life was different. Yani it was so modern. Then sasa wacha introduce niseme majina and all that. The student would laugh, and then I was like, hata uko na celebrate. Yani
I'm a celeb again.
Yeah. Sasa na feel lakini sasa kitu funny rev, they used to create a circle, and then wananiuliza the same questions. Alafu wanacheka. You know, like,
what's going on?
Am I like Churchill?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So one day I got closer and curious to listen to what they are saying nikijibu swali. Wanasema, udema naangusha. Mimi nikauliza, nimeagusha nini? Akinatafuta sasa kaniambia usituambukize shamba. You know, I was like, that hit me so hard. As nikajua kumbe sio alikuwa hawakuwa celebrate.
And you're a teenager at that time.
Kumbe alikuwa ananicheka.
Yeah.
And I was hit. Do you choose where to be born?
No, you don't.
You don't choose even where to be.
Yeah.
And it was like, unajua kiwa Nyahu, hakuna mtu anajua kitu kama shrubbing. You what?
Mko same.
So like the Nairobi, like, why are they blaming me? So nobody wanted to be my friend. Only wanted a village girl. As in, my identity just went flop. As in, ile kwanza nakumbuka at that time nilikuwa kashabi kidogo kanono, nikitembea wananiambia cabbage carrot cabbage as in say nacheka, lakini hiyo time I hated
it was a big deal
myself.
because that's the formative stage of life.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that's where you want to be friends with people.
Yeah.
And
you want to belong.
Yeah, you want to belong. And for me, I felt so alone. Nobody could understand what I was going through. Nikiona msee akicheka, nilikuwa nafikiria tu ananicheka. As in, nilienda too low. But thank God, because of that, sikuwa na kitu kama peer pressure at my secondary life. Because who could... Nani angeni influence? No one wanted
no,
to
you were isolated, actually.
Yeah, I was so alone. Then nikamaliza high school vizuri, at least mambo ya kufukuzwa, utafukuzwa umefanya nini? Just alone. And I joined college. I went to Kenya Poly. I was doing fashion design. And then sasa hapo washamba sasa wanatoka ushago kukuja wapi?
Nairobi.
Sasa at least mimi nimeomoka kidogo. Sasa
umekuwa sasa town girl.
Nimekuwa town girl. So the need to fit in sasa ikakam. Hata mimi sitaki waniambukize, hata mimi sitaki sasa nataka kuhang nao.
You're even becoming a bully.
Sasa wenyeji ndio nataka kuhang nao. Nakumbuka tu, yes, nilikuwa naenda church school hizo zote. I was still a church going girl. Kuna ka freedom ya kufika tao. And unakumbuka nimekwambia nilikuwa na struggle na low self esteem, identity. So venye nilifika kole, I wanted to fit in. Nilikuwa sasa na ile crave ya kukua noticed. Unajua uko sikuwa noticed. Nilikuwa pinned down. And so I had kulikuwa nao mabeshte wenye naona wako up and down, wana as in kila mtu alikuwa anataka ku associate now. So even me, I fitted in. Nikaona wakianza kwenda club nini, hata mimi nikaanza kwenda. Kumbuka sasa siku moja tulienda nao jam session. Ilikuanga afternoon. Ile mmetoka church. Unajua
you're living this life double.
Yes.
You're a church girl.
Yes.
Nice girl at home.
Hata huku ukienda unajua si mbaya ni youth, unajua. So mimi nikaenda siku moja. Nika dance. Unajua alikuwa tumeka ngoma una dance. And I felt so wowed. As in I felt so celebrated. I felt like this is it.
This is it.
I don't know, it so happened that mpaka nikapewa ma tips nini, niko na bus.
This is the thing.
Hii ndio. And nikaanza kuitoa. So from that session nikaanza kuitoa kwa ma videos, ma secular videos, ni dance, ni model hapo hivyo, ni slay.
What do you call that dancing? Because of the viewer, maybe your parent is watching. What do you call that? Inaitwa video what?
Video vixen. I was actually a video vixen.
Video vixen.
Nilitokea kwa video kadhaa za kina Kenrezi, P-Unit, akina Avril, Abura Cheng, as in
my big shot.
As in, it was quite a number. So kutoka hiyo platform akina Jikon, as in from your platform, nikagain ka fame fulani. And I felt so good. Sasa nilikuwa najiambia, wale walikuwa wananicheka, lazima wananicheki.
Now look at this.
Look at me, you know. Na saa hiyo nilikuwa na Madrid, nilikuwa na Mastards. I was different. But acha nikushow hii story yote, my parents didn't know about it.
Parents didn't know.
Imagine.
So there are quite a number of things that happen with young people that maybe even parents are not aware.
Juu hata hizi kuole mobo nasikia mtu anasema ati ameenda full day. Inakuwa 2 hours. So the rest 2 hours you are on your own. Kama nilikuwa nasema tumeenda drama festival. Hakuna kitu kai.
No drama.
Tumeenda ma shows.
Ni kudance.
Lakini mimi nilikuwa nimesema no drinking, no having sex until marriage. As in sasa nilikuwa nimependa tu kudance. Unakumbuka nikikwambia silence inafanya ni feel tense. Music ilikuwa inanichangamsha. Na tulikuwa tunaenda hizo madunda vitu zote. So nilikuwa naona that is now forming my identity, and nika feel this is what I've been looking for. So a time came.
Would you say that was the real thing, or it was fake?
Say when I look back, vanity of
vanity. It wasn't addressing your needs.
There are so many young people who are idolizing what they see on social media. And sometimes you look at people unaona ni kama wana live life, but it is empty.
It's empty.
How my story ends, you realize that it was all vanity.
Let's hear it.
So later on, kuna time sasa ndio mapero akamkujua. It's so sad. I petitioned my parents through a tough season. And I remember like my mom alikuwa patron kama guild. And alikuwa naenda ametoka church. And then kuna wamadhe walikuwa washatoka guild wamepanda mat. So wakifika kwao, mmoja nasikia kauliza, "Oriati mwana wa elder." Ebu imagine, my mom came home, she was crying and asking, what you've been doing besides. Yani unajua anaona mtu ni mzuri.
Wait, they're in a mat. So the video plays and you're there.
Yeah. Hapo hivyo ni nina. And can you imagine, I was so defenseful and I was like, you need talent.
It's a talent.
It's not everybody can. It's not yani nilikuwa hivyo blinded. Alafu nasema, okay, sawa tunaenda club lakini mimi sikunywi. Mimi najitambua.
So you're still a good girl.
Yeah, mimi najitambua. You know, ni kudance tu, ni talent by the way. So
ni CBC.
Yeah, so she play. We didn't discuss much because she akufanya ikuwa a big deal. But I know she was broken. Because I know even yani naongelea hata kwa other leaders who are out there mapasi nini watoi wao, unajua shetani akitaka kukukula anakukula kwa ndani. Unasema kikulacho kingoni mwako. And the devil used me to attack her, to pin her down, maybe to make her stop serving God. I believe there was a point she felt like should she stop, because mimi niko huku nina dance na ma hot pant na nini. But Naya huku kwa church. But she made a deliberate choice to continue serving God.
Despite the pain of knowing that the daughter amepotea.
So this is like an encouragement to parents. Even when you see your children going astray, don't give up on the work of God. Remember, she says, when you take care of God's business, He takes care of your business.
Ebu say that again.
When you take care of God's business, He will take care of your business. If angeacha kuserve, singerudi. Even ndio nilirudi. It was tough. So, later on, nika compile zile ma videos. And then, nikaanza kuuza. Eni zilikuwa mingi.
Yani, you're even making money now.
Sasa si hata musician wanauza. Mimi
ndio now.
Illegally.
The dancer.
At least one. Mtaani wanasema celeb ndio huyo. I felt so good. Yani mimi sikuwa na mind Kenya watu wanasema. Unasema na dance. Mimi sikunywi pombe na mimi si group ya tuna have sex na wasanii. No. As in I was like, nilikuwa nasema I know myself. Sometimes you feel you know what you're doing. Then so hiyo CD ikafikia my dad. Sasa hapo ndio unajua
moto.
Unajua kwa mtoto wa askari. Yeah, and I was confronted, and this is the time that I had to choose music or school. And choose gani? I immediately choose fame. Yeah, and I even disappeared from home. I went to stay to my friends in Kibera. At least kuna ka freedom, unajua.
As in you moved from your comfort.
Imagine.
From the protection of your parents.
Yes.
From they were providing a good life, your nice room, and all that.
Nimeenda kwa mabati. Uko. As in life feeling. Whenever how the devil can blind you. And I went there, I was feeling good. At least kuna freedom. Food ukibaya so naitwa soko. As in what I can say, I was desperate to fit in. I was desperate for attention. You see, there are a lot of people who seek attention. Na hii mambo ya watu kubleach, kuchange, nini, kwenda saja. It's one thing, identity. They're trying to fit in.
Yeah.
They're trying to seek their attention. And I can always say, as much as you do all things, what you is I always call it, God has put in every one of us a void that only Him can fill. So that void, if you don't fill it with God, you'll try to fill it with other things. So for me, I was trying to
fill the void.
Yeah, with other...
With dancing.
Yeah, dancing.
Being with friends.
Yeah, and others fill it with pombe.
Yeah.
Immoralities, pornography, money. Even money can't fill that void. Even a relationship, at you una date was say that void is God's. You'll always feel empty.
Only God can fill it.
Yes, only God can fill it. And then kwa your life sasa.
Now you're in Kibra.
Yes, I'm there. At least bado naendelea na travel huku na huku. Then, you know something I look at, that even when you are praying for something, sometimes it gets worse to get better. For me, one day nikatrapiwa, nikakuwa invited kwa bash, nikaambiwa hapo kuna maselebu wa Uganda wanakam, na neza sign deal internationally. Sasi tu local.
Now you're going international.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sikuwa convinced kwenda house party because I knew drama zinakuanga. And kitu tu iliniambia, like, ile tu unakuwa convinced na mabeshte, we come through, utasign deal. And nikaishia huko, so likuwa na... Ujua, house party ni, kama rev, unaweza kuwa, unakuta pero wako na watoi. Wazazi wametravel, wameenda Ocha.
Yeah.
Watoi wana convertio hao, mapombe na kila kitu na... Hiyo ndio house party. House party ikuangi ati sijui lazima muende Kilimani. Wakati mtu nyumba, normal house, watu wanaeka. Watoto
wanaachwa innocently, they are very nice.
Yes.
Parents go, and then the house is converted.
Yes. Ati we kama rev, watoi wanaweza fanya tu hivyo kwa nyumba yako.
Wow.
Na ujui hizi vitu.
Na una idea.
Una idea.
Wewe umeenda kupreach. Commission.
Imagine.
Yes.
So, in that time, ni waswali kwa nakunywa, obvious. Nimezoea kuhang na walevi, nimezoea hata kuroll bangi, yani na wasaidia wauze.
And so far, you've kept your calm,
yes.
you're cool, ujaingia into.
Yeah. And that is what made me feel good. As in, nilikuwa nataka kuchange narrative ya Video Vixen. Unaona, watu wasema Video Vixen ni mlevi na la. But I wanted to change the whole. Ni kama unaenda hell, unatry kuimake heaven.
Unaenda kupreachia the devil, uko hell.
Bada urudi uko. Bada urudi heaven.
Una stick.
Yes. And then that bash, so people, it was all kind of crazy things. And I remember at a point nilienda kwa washroom. And then nikirudi nikitake drink. You know, I thought I was with friends. They were not strangers. They were not strangers. So, ata drink yangu siku need kuikava.
Unaacha tu hapo. You like trust them.
Yeah. You go. Then when I came back, nikaanza kufeel a certain kind of headache, you know. And I didn't sense anything. I just requested to be shown where I could rest. And I remember there's this lady friend of mine, friend. Sina sikianga funny nikisema friend.
In quotes.
Yeah. Then she took me, but she referred me again to another guy I knew. Then I remember nikimwambia, hey, sasa ushanionyesha, you can just leave me. And then for a moment, he was like, no, Ati, I want to leave you sleeping. And I'm like, I'm okay. And then started fighting. And I don't remember much.
That's the last point you remember?
I don't remember much, but I remember there was a struggle. And then in the morning, I wake up and I see the sun, I don't know what's the time, like I'm totally in the bed, I'm naked and I'm alone. And the house is pin drop silence, you know.
This house that had a party.
Yes.
Kumenyamaza.
Yeah. Like my phone ilikuwa tu hapo. So I called the lady, nikamuuliza, you guys, kwani, you know you are confused.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Nasema, wewe ndo ulituacha usiku. Wewe ni msaliti. I left them.
You left them and you're in the house.
So, na simu ikakatwa.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're like, what should I do? Should I call? Is it my parents? I rebelled against them.
That's confusing.
My friends, my so-called friends, Diawa, wanasema nilienda. I'm like, where should I go? To the police station? I'm like, was I dragged to the party or I took myself? Unajua? Most, and I just knew I was dragged and raped, and that is how I lost my virginity. And I will tell you, a lot of people who are raped is not by strangers, 80% by people they know.
People they know.
And most of the defilers go scot-free because the survivors feel guilty.
They take the guilt.
Yeah, they take the guilt. Yeah. They blame themselves. But as much as I was out there doing all that, I didn't deserve it. When I look at it, maybe nikidance nilifanya watu wa feel different, unaona? But I still didn't deserve it. Maybe the way I dressed. There are chances you can reduce from being defiled, but nobody deserves it. You know, I thought I was strong. I thought
you could transform people.
Yes.
You thought you could.
Yes. I thought I was principled enough. I thought, you know what, guys? You can drink. I'm not drinking. I thought I was safe by not drinking. But you're not safe. Only good can make you safe. And I always say, when you go to the kitchen, expect heat. Where was I? Of course, I'm still not allowing that guy to go scot-free.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing red signs that could have reduced the chances of what I...
But you were so blinded.
Yeah.
You were so blinded.
Yeah, yeah.
And wait a minute. House parties still happen?
Yes, they are.
In this city?
They don't happen in Kilimani alone.
No.
These things happen in our neighborhoods.
And
ile hata watoi wame get together, wameachwa peke yao.
Yeah.
They chip in drugs, zinapikwa mpaka na keki. Hata kuna ingine unachemsha kwa stew. As in, these things happen. And you know, in the influence of drugs, things are bound to happen.
Yeah.
Things that are, like nasemanga, I always joke and say, kama mdem, kama bila pombe, anasema, achana na mimi. Akikunywa kidogo anasema, wachana na mimi. Akikunywa kidogo wacha. Akimaliza, akikunywa ingine ya mwisho anasema wacha kuacha.
Wow.
You see how drugs influence.
That's how you progress.
Yeah.
And I think we need to, I mean, this is a sad thing that happened. But thank God you've survived.
Yeah.
In order to tell and also to educate.
Yeah.
And to inspire others. And this is profound. This is deep. The things you're teaching us, because you've had that experience, you've walked there. And sometimes, you know, watu wako in denial. Watu in denial, I mean, some parents and guardians are in denial, living in denial. Mtoto wangu ni mzuri. Mtoto wangu ni wa youth fellowship. Mtoto wangu ni mzuri. But you just don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And also for young people, you know, when boundaries are put at home, don't be out at this time.
Yeah.
When your parent tells you, I don't know, I have a bad feeling about that party that you want to attend, that birthday.
Hiyo ndiyo ataenda hata ukimwa. Sasa, the more you actually, there's a demon that comes.
Yeah.
Ukiamba usipitishe hii saa, when you are youth, you want to know what will happen if
I pass that one. And at that point, I think we want to take a short break because we want to finish up this story, but also hear the turning point, because that's where hope lies. You know, that's where we inspire hope, because there is a turning point, and that is why you are here.
Yes.
To tell the story. So at this point, we want to take a very, very short break. Kindly don't go away. You want to hear this because it will help you individually, also in your ministry, but also even help the people around you or help you as a young person. Don't go away.
We, the PCMF National Board, welcomes you to the annual Leaders Conference for the year 2022.
Main leaders from our parishes and chaplains will converge on 23rd to 26th February 2022.
At Milele Beach Hotel, Mombasa, kule Mombasani, guided by the theme, Godliness with Contentment is Great Gain for Wholesome Men. 1 Timothy 6:6. Welcome. Don't miss this. Tutafanya kazi ya Bwana.
Wakenya ni wapenda kazi na kila siku wako mbioni kuchapa kazi. Kipindi cha Kazi na Mali ni rafiki, swahiba na kipenzi cha wachapakazi wote. Si jua kali tu. Kilimo shambani.
Kusema kweli, nguruwe ni wazuri.
Madini ya protein kwa huyu snail iko juu sana.
Biashara sokoni. Wajasiriamali wa aina zote, sanaa, wasanii. Guess what? It is busy. Tunatembea nawe kila hatua ya uvumbuzi na ubunifu wako ili kujikimu na kukimu uchumi wa taifa. Kazi na Mali, sisi ndisi, CAK TV, hapa ndipo.
Welcome back. And just in case you've joined us now, we are here listening to the testimony of one Rose Haki, or rather Rose Muhaki. There's a story behind the way she says her name, and she's giving us her testimony to inspire us, to inspire hope. And she's walked us through the journey of being this village girl but a celebrity to come into Nairobi and being pinned down by, the wajiwajis of the city, and how now she started, like finding her esteem, her identity, but through the wrong means, and how she landed into trouble. Now we left at the point where you were drugged, or rather your drink, whatever was spiked. You find yourself alone, raped, and you're now alone. Let's start there.
Mm-hmm. As you can say, not everyone who is with you is for you. Mm. And I learned, I remember I was being cautioned about hanging out with these people, and I was like so defenseful, mina jujua misikunywi. But again, the Bible says it, bad company corrupts
good morals.
And sasa hapo ndio nilijua all that glitters
is not gold.
It's not gold. So when I walked down the house was completely empty.
And this must have been a big house.
Yes, ilikuwa nyumba ya ghorofa.
Wow, a big house.
Yeah. This is a Lang'ata. And the house was, hakukuwa hata dalili ya pombe. Cleaned up. And I was like, so nikitoka jua kukuwa mtu kwa nyumba. Nikatoka nikakutana na mmoja mwenye nyumba, one of the youth, na mwingine ananiuliza, Licious, umekuwa hapa? I'm like, what are you saying? Hata wakutaka niongee. wakaniacha nikaenda. Then so I was walking, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know, as in just stigma, unajua ile uko shocked kwanza, yani uko like, so my V imeenda hivyo. Si afadhali ningepeana from day one, as in rather than being stolen. I felt the world is ime-shrink, ime-crumble. I felt so broken. And I felt like, yani identity yangu tena ilikuwa juu imeenda.
Now you've nosedived again.
Whom do I run to? And in that moment, nikaanza to feel hopeless. Nikaanza to feel like the world imeisha. You know that vitu zina happen, unaona, there's no hope. For me, I felt there was no
hopelessness.
Hope. Yes.
Mbaya.
Kabisa. And I started getting into depression. Bado nilirudi Kibich. Siku, okay, kuna watu nilipigia kadhaa wakaniambia drugs to take. So sikupata like HIV na ball. So alikuwa ananiambia kama uko fiti uko sawa. Yani kama hujapata ball, hujapata HIV, uko fiti. So I thought I would be okay. But as time went by, there's the psychological trauma that come. Huwezi explain. Mtu anakuwa, unajua mtu anaweza ona uko fiti physically like. But hapa hivi uko fiti. Of course, I couldn't remember. I don't know exactly what happened, but kuna two flashbacks in a create. Mind in a create. Unaka. So your depression, it was too much. And the more time inapita, so see the more healing inakam.
You get worse.
You get worse.
Yeah.
Hapa. Unakani kama unacheze. So I remember mwabeshto wangu wale nikoe wana smoke weed, walikuwa na smoke juu wako na issues, home issues. So wana smoke wa run out of it. So I tried that. I smoked weed. And it was not working.
Like now,
unasikia kizunguzungu.
And truly it's getting worse. This nice girl who was trying to keep her cool, her everything, because she was brought up as a Christian girl. So you had said no drinking, no sex, no involving in those immoral things. Now you've gone to...
Even now.
Now
so
it's
worse.
Give up. Give up.
I'm now becoming the worst of me.
Ooh.
You know, when things like those ones happen, you can either go hyper or depressive.
Or depressive.
When you go hyper, you can even become like even a prostitute. For me, it went so low. Now it peak. Now giving up. So nikianza kusmoke ninaumwa na kichwa. But I thank God it didn't work. Because if it worked, I would be an addict. So when you work,
so ni kama mwili yako tu ilikataa.
Reject.
I think God was still at work in your life.
But I didn't see it.
Yeah, you didn't see it.
So finally I decided this is it. This final. I ain't doing this anymore. I ain't breathing anymore. I'm tired. Like I think I've nimekimbilia vitu nikifikiria hizi ndio vitu nashikilia. Kumbe zinaitwa quick thrills. After all I went through, I felt there was no hope for me. I lost, or like I have told you, I tried smoking, it didn't work. You know, many people go to smoking and drinking to run away from issues. They address them in the wrong way. For me, it didn't work. And finally, I decided, iko nini? Mimi na jikata uhai. So I wrote my story.
No, like this beautiful girl, you wanted to die. You just wanted to die.
Yeah, I didn't see any light in my life. I didn't see it. I think I went through a painful process, trying to make it. You know, I was pushing myself. And I see no light. Nikaamua acha niandike story yangu because even no one knew what I was going through. I wrote it and finally I decided to buy some pills and do an overdose.
You actually did it?
Yeah, I was convinced that this is it.
You had come to the end.
Like what I was going through is already hell itself, so I don't care where I go.
It can never be more hell than the hell you are through.
And you can imagine that time my parents don't know what I'm going through. They don't even know. But I wrote it down so that in case,
they'll just know.
Yeah. So
sad.
I took the pills and I was dying, you know, I felt so pain. But I don't remember much.
But then you had gone back home, or?
I was just somewhere. Yeah. And I took them.
Yeah.
And I'd written. So I remember opening my eyes and seeing myself in the hospital. And there I was. Ninaona my lights, ninaona nini nashindwa.
Is this hair or where is this?
Yeah, you know, like.
Yeah.
And the doctor is like, hey, God loves you. I'm like, it's God. I'm like, kwani niko heaven? Kwani niko wapi? Heaven ama nini? And then the reason I'm saying this is because 5 minutes kama ungekuwa umepatikana, ungekuwa past tense.
Isha.
So I'm like, so I'm alive. You know, I'm not even feeling a sign of relief.
No, don't say you are disappointed that you're alive.
Yeah. I was like, as in,
I wanted to die.
Yeah. And then I was like, so they say 5 minutes kama ungekuwa umepatikana ungekuwa umedea. So I think they sensed. So they asked me what had happened, you know, even that time my close family were there. And they didn't even understand how I could take that that decision. And I directed them to read what had happened. And they were like, why didn't you say it? Could you? You know, we go through issues and we are afraid of speaking out. But mi naambianga watu siku hizi, fungua roho. Don't die alone in silence.
Just talk to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that. You're not the only one. There are several people. And even now when we see people being butchered and all these things, there was alarming signs and they could have spoken out and found help. So nikakahosi. I think the doctor intentionally refused me to be discharged soon because hata wangeni discharged ningeenda tena kujimaliza.
You were still suicidal.
Yes.
Even then.
Yeah. And people would come and leave and I'll still be in the ward. And kitu nikasema, God ukiniponya, nita change. Unajua ile unasema tu innocently, but in the back of my mind, I'm like sick of being here. And indeed, God is a faithful God. Wow. He healed me completely.
That was the turning point.
And I went home.
Yes.
And nikarudi shule because I had dropped out from college.
Yeah.
And sasa, nikaanza kuitwa tena. Mashoot. Sasa hii ni ma big shot. Maselebwale wazito.
No, wait a minute. Your former world is still not former. They're still active. They know you're back.
Yes.
And they want you back.
Napigiwa nikasema, ami nimechange, nimewacha. Hayo ni ya kwanza. So I was strong.
You managed to say no.
Yes. Ya pili, I managed. Ya tatu ilikuwa big one. Nikasema, this is the guy I wanted to appear in his video, you know? Wow. And then, kitu kasema, I'm like, wacha niende ya mwisho.
It's the last one. The last one. The last one.
Then I went there. And so when I was there, ule mse niliambia niliacha, akaniuliza, ni mlevi kwanza? Ananiuliza, ini maisha gani? Uliniambiaje juzi? Anaongea kama amelewa. Can you imagine sasa yeye ndiye ananipreach
threatening you?
Yeah.
I mean challenging you, sorry.
Imagine. Imagine some level ndiye anani challenge. And I'm like, and I felt so guilty. I felt so guilty. I felt like it was the voice of God. And I started crying and nikaamua hata nirudi to home. And you know what? I realized that for every change, there needs a sacrifice.
For every change, we must be ready to sacrifice.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Go on.
Then
I'm good.
I realized if there's one thing that drags me back is my phone.
Yeah.
Nikaona hata hii simu nikitupa, wacha nitupe line. Do your line ndio inaniconnect
It's like the contact point.
Yes. And I threw it and I decided I'm not gonna replace it. Nikaitupa nje kwa dirisha na nikarudi home. And I knelt before God crying and I said, you know, I've tried it all. As in hakuna kitu niliangalia nyuma nikasema it's better to die in the Lord than to die in shame because I was dying in shame. Yeah, and I said, God, my heart is willing, but my flesh is weak. Help me.
Help me.
Yeah, and so it will begin a different process.
Yeah.
Nikaacha kuwa extrovert. Mimi ndio nilikuanga na form. Kuanzia
Wednesday. Nilikuwa napanga watu.
Kuanzia Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Na Sunday, Monday ndio natulia. Yani in the club. Najua nyinyi pia mnakuwa busy. Kama wachungaji.
We also get busy.
Monday ndio mna relax.
We also have our high. Unaenda hivi.
Basi. Sasa mimi yangu ilikuwa ile ya dunia Monday. Ndio revi imetulia. Then so nikarudi shule nikamaliza. Nilitone down. God also worked on my. You see, God, word ya God inasema usichange ndio uende Mungu. Enda venye uko.
Exactly, just as I am.
He'll change your personality. He changed me. Nilikuwa ngamse extrovert. Sasa mimi siku hizi mimi ni introvert.
Umetulia.
Sina, you know, kitambo nilikuwa na feel ka sina mabeshte ya feel something is wrong.
Something is wrong.
And natafuta kwani kunaendaje?
Kwani ni nini?
You feel scared. So natafuta wase hata kwenye wako unakaa hapo ndio feel fit.
You feel una fit in, you belong.
Yeah. But God filled that void in me. And God gave me, I felt my identity is in Christ. Wow. My identity is not in what I do or what I have
or what people say.
Yes. My identity is in Christ and it's constant. You know, that changed. Nikatafuta job ya aviation. I was doing aviation. Sikupata. I joined a missionary group that ilikuwa naenda kwa mashule. And then hapo tuko tunaenda naona wasi wanaimba and then but I saw myself in them. You know, I saw people who are smiling and laughing because wameona maseleb, and it reminded me nilikuwa pia mimi na wa envy. And one day I decided to speak out. There's this courage that helped me to speak out. People were quiet, others were crying. I didn't know why. I didn't understand hiyo nini ilikuwa inafanya. But after hapo, there were some missionaries wazungu from Netherlands, and they told me you're a great motivational speaker. I was like, which word is that?
Then it's like motivational what?
And then they tried to explain, but I really didn't get it. And then I started being called now to other, like nikaitwa the same school kuongelesha wasichana. I'm like, ndawaambia nini? So kitu ilikuwa funny. I went back. So they came and disclosed. I think because I made myself vulnerable and they trusted me.
And it takes a lot of courage to do that.
You know, and I remember even today, I'm not shy to share my testimony because I am not a prisoner of my past. I am a pioneer of my future.
Hey, you're ni mstari. Like you're not a prisoner
of my past.
Of your past.
I'm a pioneer of my future.
Did you hear that? I think that's something we should take. We should not remain prisoners of our pasts.
But we can't change.
It happened.
We all have a past.
Yeah, we all have a past.
And a present. And I always say, your past can be trashy and messy, but your future is spotless. Paint it bright.
Ooh, that is where hope lies. There is hope.
There is hope.
There is hope. So that's how God now transformed your story, freed you, so that you can now be the one who is freeing others and telling them it's possible.
You know, when I look back, sometimes I was scared. What will I be doing? I was used to dancing and clubbing. But when you give God your past, He gives you a future. Example, I had this talent of dancing. There's a difference between your talent and your gift. Talent ni kitu umezaliwa nayo, kitu natural unapenda kufanya. But a gift is something you receive through the Holy Spirit.
That's why it's a gift.
So God gave me, he took away the evil craziness of me in the past, and he gave me a gift to inspire, a gift to motivate. And it was only through my story.
Yeah.
You know, he says that he will turn everything for good. I remember one day I was going for an interview in KBC, and somebody saw me, and sasa yeye kumbe nilikuwa nimemdansia kitambo na hakuwa ametoa hiyo video. Sasa na ameniweka hapo kwa cover. Na mimi naenda kushare testimony yangu.
Look at that.
Na zinaenda, we are meeting the same person. You know, some I'm like, ananiambia atijipe miaka kaa 3 hivi usaulike. Alafu ndio nikasema wewe ndio utasahau.
Not me.
Ambia God, I don't know even why I'm here.
Yeah.
But you do your will.
Yeah.
And I realized I shouldn't be ashamed of who I was.
Yeah.
He turned my mess to message. Wow. He turned my pain to gain. He turned me from a victim to a vessel of hope. Wow. And so because watu walikuwa na open up, walikuwa napata wase, I'm struggling with masturbation, homosexuality, suicidal, you know, they came and told me so many things. And so I had to go and take a course, a counseling course.
In counseling.
Yeah, so that I can
to sharpen,
Yeah.
to sharpen your
Gift,
skills,
yeah.
your gift. And because now it was clear, that's where God was leading you to tell others, to help others be free. Now, you know, we are starting to wrap up. And I want you to face that camera, and in a minute, can you address that young person especially, or that even some adults are suffering from this, but especially young people? A message of hope. Just less than a minute. Yeah.
I want to tell you, the true identity is found in Christ. As in, I know some of us, we might try to fit in into friends, into alcohol, into luxurious things, even as adults, even in relationship, but the true identity is found in Christ. Only him can fill that void when you feel empty. And I want to tell you, whatever, maybe you're out there, you've not been doing the right thing, and you know it. I want to tell you, it doesn't matter for how long you've been doing it. It doesn't matter what you've been doing, but our God is able to break all the chains. And even if you're feeling like it's done, it's hopeless, there is hope. There is a miracle worker. Just like he transformed my life, he can do it for you. Even when you feel like you want to die, I want to tell you, God has a plan for you. And always say, the fact that you are listening to my voice today, it is evident that you are not here for experiment, but you are here for a special purpose. Don't give up. Then focus on God. That is what I like.
Woo, what a message. Don't give up. And I believe today you have been uplifted, and you know there's a God of a second chance. And I believe you've also been challenged as a leader, as a parent, as a guardian, as one who also takes care of others, and especially of our young people. We need to walk with our young people especially, and get close to them. And I know we'll talk about this later, because we ain't done with you.
Yes,
we ain't done with you. We'll call you again, because we have a role to play, because people could be looking good out there, or they look rowdy and all that. Kumbe, it's the void.
Yeah, they're trying to
fill the void, and we are wondering what's wrong with these people. And so as leaders, I think we also have a role to play. I believe this has been inspiring. Thank you very much for allowing God to use you, for becoming vulnerable for the sake of other people. Her parting shot was, don't give up. And that's what we say in this
Parents,
show.
don't give up.
Don't give up on your children. Children, don't give up on yourself. Young people, don't give up on yourself. There's a God of a second chance. Don't die. You don't have to die. And so with that, we end our program. Please keep it CAC TV. Keep it Rays of Hope. Thank you for your support. Your continued support. We don't take it for granted. So until next time, don't give up. Keep hope alive. God bless you.
Wow.